Peace, people. Peace, people. Today, R.Kelly, day 14. Today on the stand was a former backup dancer and a backup singer for R.Kelly. Her name was Angela. She met R.Kelly in 1991. She was invited to his apartment for a party during the summer break between her sophomore and freshman year. Now, right off the bat, I got a problem with that. When I was a 14, 15-year-old kid being invited to a R. Kelly party. All right, before I even get into it, that sends right off the bat. Why was she invited to R. Kelly party and she was only 14 or 15 years old? And R. Kelly in 1991 was a grown-ass man. That's the first thing that jumped out at me. But let's keep going in the story. Okay, like I said, she met him in 1991. She's a freshman, sophomore in high school. She's invited to a party of his in Chicago. She eventually became one of his backup dancers. And she said in the early 1990s, like 92, she walked in and caught R. Kelly with Aaliyah. She said that they was on the tour bus and that her and another dancer was going to play a prank on R. Kelly, and they walked into like a back room on the bus, and they said they witnessed R. Kelly on his knees in between Aaliyah's legs. Okay, and said she saw it, she immediately closed the door, and she said she never said nothing else about it. Now, this testimony becomes damaging because it goes back to the Leah thing of him having sex with Leah when she was underage. Okay. Now, in the Surviving R. Kelly series, there was a young lady that testified that said that her name was Jovan Cunningham. She testified, or she said in the R. Kelly Surviving R. Kelly series that she had walked in on R. Kelly with Aaliyah. So I'm just wondering if this is the same young lady, because it's the same story. You know, they change everybody's names for the sake of the trial. But that woman said in Surviving R. Kelly that she walked in and caught R. Kelly with Aaliyah. Now, this young lady's on the stand is saying the same thing, so it makes me just wonder, this is just my personal opinion, is that the same person? Okay, she was a backup dancer. She caught R. Kelly with Aaliyah. She said she never said nothing about it, but she said when she turned 15, R. Kelly did the same thing to her. She said R. Kelly started having sex with her. And she said the way that happened was he had all the girls line up and tell them that they all had to perform a sexual act on him. She said when it was her turn, she said that R. Kelly told her to get on top of him and do her business or whatever. So she was very embarrassed because the other girls that he had previously been with was still in there getting dressed, while he was, you know, having sex with her. And said she was very embarrassed by it, you know, and but R. Kelly told them, he said, yo, y'all got to pay y'all dues. This is what y'all got to do. Y'all want to roll with me? This is what it's about. And told them they need to go out and recruit more girls. Okay? Now, back to the Aaliyah thing. Aaliyah's mother, when the Surviving R. Kelly documentary came out, Aaliyah's mother denied everything. She said that she and her husband was going everywhere with Aaliyah during her tours and her interviews and concerts or whatever, and Aaliyah was never really by herself. And I question that too. How could she say that, you know, Aaliyah was never by herself when A, allegedly she got pregnant. B, she got married to R. Kelly. And she was a minor. So her mother's full of shit too. Talking about she was with her every inch of the way. If she was, and her husband, she said her and her husband. Not just her and her husband. Now how could both of them be there and all of this shit happen? You know, she got pregnant, allegedly. She got married. She had a forced birth certificate, all kind of bullshit. You know, and the mother said that, you know, that didn't happen. Well, I don't believe the mother either, as far as that's concerned. Okay? But the girl said that R. Kelly made all the girls that was part of his show have sex with him. You know, and it was, if you want to be with me, this is what you got to do. She said she worked for R. Kelly to the mid-1990s. She said she saw him every day during that period of time. Said that R. Kelly told him they had to get him some fresh meat. You know, she said she met Aaliyah. Aaliyah was 12 years old, or just turned 13 at the time. She said she was a backup singer on Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, that album. So this girl was kind of close to Aaliyah. Said also that R. Kelly told them when Aaliyah first came on the scene that Aaliyah was the hot new shit, and that her and the other girl, who was the other backup dancer, had to befriend her and became her friends or whatever. Okay, you know, the girl said she never said anything about any of this. See, here we go again with this again. You know, this is a girl that been with him for a long time, and she never came out and said anything either. Now, this is about the third chick, I believe, that never said nothing. You know, claiming that they was too embarrassed to say anything. But what I can't understand, how could you be so embarrassed when this shit has been going on for years? People been coming out every couple of years with something on R. Kelly. You mean at no time you got the courage to come out and say, you know what, this shit happened to me when I was a kid? You know, that's you know, that don't make sense. And also on the was on the stand today was a guy named Alex. Alex claimed that he was the guy that was having sex with these girls. You remember earlier in the testimonies, the girls were saying that R. Kelly made them have sex with somebody. A couple of girls said that. Well, he's claiming that he was either the person or one of the people that was R. Kelly was allowing this to happen to. Now I got questions about that too. They say R. Kelly was so jealous that he wouldn't let these girls out of his sight. They couldn't do nothing, you know, without his permission, or even the girl Diana Copeland, who was the person that really like oversaw these girls. And in her testimony, she said that these girls couldn't do nothing without R. Kelly's permission or without her being there. They couldn't get in the Uber. If a male Uber driver showed up, they had to send him on his way. Okay? They had to wait for a female. So if they wanted to go get clothes, manicures, or whatever they wanted to get, you know, that she had to go with them. You know, they wasn't allowed to do nothing. She said one time the girls was in the elevator and she left one of the girls in the elevator because when they got in the elevator, if it was people in the elevator, they had to turn their backs to the elevator. And the girl had her back turned to the wall or whatever, and she got off the elevator and left the girl on the elevator. So, you know, this is the same thing, you know, but she said all of this, the Copeland chick. So I don't understand how R. Kelly would let some guy have sex with these women if he was that possessive where they couldn't get in an Uber with a man, they couldn't see nobody in the elevator, they couldn't talk to nobody. I don't understand, like, how would he let somebody have sex with these girls? But apparently, this is what this guy is saying. And this is also what some of the girls said. So, I don't know. Today, day 14, R. Kelly trial. Hey, please like, subscribe, and share my videos. I would appreciate it. Tomorrow's another day. Peace, people.